So hello again, and we're going to go over the lathe, or turning some wood, but we're going to start on the bandsaw. Actually, we're going to start with this piece of wood. That is, what is this? A little under 2 7/8 by 2 7/8. Looks like pine. Looks like something was eating on it for a while. But before we go and put this on the lathe, we got to do some stuff. One, we're going to find the center on these parts. So we're going to use this dealy about this combo square. I can hold it. I can hold it up here like this. And as best I can, I want to mark the centers. Right now it's square. I want to do that before I do anything else. I want to mark those centers on both ends. Close enough. We're doing this now because it's easiest to do on this square form to mark that center. Then I want to figure out, I want to take off a good amount of the sides. I'm going to do that on the table saw because it'll be easier for me to do with the fence on the table saw because I don't have a fence on this thing. But I could do it on the bandsaw if I didn't have anything else. I could mark it and line it up and tilt it. But we're going to use the tilt actually now on the bandsaw on at least one of these sides to indent that. So I kind of gouge, I'm going to cut a little curve into the pencil line there. So first off, I got to tilt the bandsaw. So I loosen the two knobs. There's a knob in the front, on the bottom, and a knob in the back. That, okay? So let's get it going. Close enough. I'm not sure that. So I'm gonna, over the tabletop, and what I want to do is cut off, make this an octagon. So it's a little less, and I could probably go at it, soft wood, I could probably go at it with the lathe, but it's gonna be like whack, 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 whack. So I'm gonna make it a little bit, get it closer to the shape it needs to be. And then remember, when you're cutting into it, you're not gonna get anything bigger anyway than sort of that, and that even kind of smaller than that. So if you start with something like this, it's gonna be smaller. It's not gonna be this diameter there. Anyway, so I'm going to tilt and raise and tilt the blade at the same time. So one piece done. So essentially, there I have, but I've got a little closer to what I'm going to turn. Now I could have probably taken a little bit hair off more, but I'd rather just have, not take too much off. I'm used to overdoing it. So we're going to put this on the lathe after I put this away and clean up the table saw. So this is our little mini lathe. It's kind of the dead center, although it spins. This is the one that's wide. The motor is driving this one. Okay, so this pushes it. Whoops. Sometimes it's harder to get out than that. And we also have a face plate. If you were mounting this, to get mounted on, screwed onto there, this would be taken away, and you could screw a piece of wood on. You could do like a bowl kind of shape. More than we need to get into today. There's a little rod that's stuck back here on the side that if that's not going to pop out like that, you kind of tap it out. Sometimes it's harder to do than that. Most of the time it's harder to do than that. I'm going to take this thing. It's got the center point and it's got these little edges. And we are going to choose an end. That end that we cut the notches into, almost right. I'm going to set it up so that it's those teeth or blade parts, and the center is in the center, and the blade parts are going into that. And then I'm going to take either a rubber mallet or a wooden mallet, or in this case, a piece of wood. Do not use a metal-headed hammer because you'll mushroom over, dent that, and it will not fit back in there anymore. So I'm just going to kind of knock it in so it's securely in. Back out of the way, slide in. Now it has a taper to it, so it'll lock in there. I'm going to slide this one, and I'm going to line up that point there with the center on this end, which I can't get a camera around to show you, so I'll show you in a second. I think I got it. And then there's a little locking thing here. I lock that down. Then I turn this so that this pushes, make sure that's locked, pushes forward, it screws it forward. You just need to do it tight enough. Crush the, okay, there we go. Bearing was part out there. So I don't want it too tight, just enough so it holds. Old ones of this, like mine at home, this end doesn't spin. It's a dead thing. It just spins on the end of it. But, or at least the old one that I used to use. Anyway, so we got that kind of locked in there. We are going to look at this a little differently. So I'm going to bring this in so that it's closest. It's like 1/8 of an inch away or so, and it's parallel with this line. I'm going to raise it up so that it's just under halfway. So I'll lock that. So you don't want it above halfway, you don't want it at halfway, just a slightly below halfway this way. Below. I think I got it. So there's not a huge gap there, there's only like half, and then I'm going to rotate it, because this might be, it is irregular. I can see how it's irregular. Now it's not, I don't have it even plugged in yet. You would never want to get anything long hanging down, long hair, anything like that. I'm going to use, I have my safety glasses on, of course. I use a face shield as well. But I don't want anything that could get caught in here. If you stick your fingers in there, that can really bust you up pretty bad. So I'm also going to kind of go, usually I work from thickest to thinnest area. And they say start in the middle and work your way out. I don't know. It's going to work in one spot a little bit. Show you a few of the basic kind of things. Sorry. So some basic tools I'm going to show you. A gouge, parting tool, like a diamond-y kind of look to it, a skew, and a scraper. It kind of looks like a gouge, but it's just kind of like flat. There's no curve to it. Anyway, so again, we want to be back. We're going to bring in, I'm going to have sometimes you can either hold it like this with your hand over the top, or you can put your thumb there. But what you do, again, you don't want to get in, and you don't want to lift the tool up and get that jammed in there. You don't want to pry and use it as a pry bar. You need to use this tool rest and kind of remember where that tool rest is, okay? Turn it on, see how it goes, make sure nothing's flying at me. Just bring it in. I like to start with this way in, rest it on there, slowly bring it in. Don't reach for it before it stops. See how rough it is right now. I'm gonna try to do a little bit more light. Pine is pretty rough, so it splinters up quite a bit. It's not sort of best in the world for this, but what I can fix that with is some sanding. And before I do anything with sanding, I want to get this thing out of the way. This should not be anywhere near, because it's too easy when I sand. It's a whole different operation, because you get it caught in there and you make a mess of your fingers. Got some sandpaper here. An old broken belt can work nicely. What is this? 100 grit. So now I got room all the way around. I don't want to have anything where my fingers get caught. I'm turning. I don't want to jam my fingers in there and having it kind of pull away from me. Can't even work it this way. With a demo. So it's still got chunks out of it because the pine splintered a lot. But kind of see how it came out. And then unplug this thing. To get it out, I can back off of this. I can also kind of release this, move this back away. Then I can see a little bit closer to what I got. And you can saw these off. Some people cut them off on the thing too. So, but I mean, that's just a rough kind of demo thing, but potential for making something interesting. All right, that's the lathe.